What does family mean to the 12 zodiac signs? Well, let's talk about it. If you're a first-time watcher, I'm Lamar Townsend. I'm a natural intuitive, clairvoyant, clairaudient, empathic, psychic tarot reader, and I would love to do a personal, private, confidential tarot reading for you. Please visit my website, lamartownsendtarot.com, to purchase your own personal, private tarot reading. If you have any questions, the information will be in the FAQ section or the personal ethics section, okay? Also, please follow me on Instagram and like me on Facebook. The links will be down below in the description box. And I would love it if you would also subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification button so that you get a notification whenever I upload a new video, okay? So, what does family mean to the 12 zodiac signs? Well, I hope you don't mind that I'm sipping some tea, literally, throughout this video, because I'm getting over a cold, alright? So, family. It's an interesting concept. Let's see what family is defined as by, a dictionary type resource. Alright, let's see what family is defined as by dictionary.com, okay? It says, a basic social unit consisting of parents and mere children, considered as a group, whether dwelling together or not. Interesting. Parents and their children. Some families actually don't have parents. Some families are just made of children, right? So it's interesting, once again, like the definition of a family is so broad, and it's changing like as time goes on. But let's look at some more definitions. A social unit consisting of one or more adults together with the children they care for. Interesting. So that would be considered a single parent family, and the unit consisting of parents and their children would be considered a traditional family, right? All right. Once again, what if, a family doesn't have parents, right? Let's look at some more definitions. The children of one person or couple collectively. Interesting. The spouse and children of one person. Any group of persons closely related by blood as parents, children, uncles, aunts, and cousins. All those persons considered as descendants of a common progenitor. A group of persons who form a household under one head, including parents, children, and servants. Of relating to or characteristic of a family. So basically anything that kind of is characteristic of a family, anything characteristic of the definitions that I've just described, anything, where there's a social construct, a bond, a group of roommates can be considered a family, a group of workmates can be considered a family, right? But what does family mean to the individual zodiac signs? Let's get into that, alright? Because that's what we're here for. And before I get into it, actually, let me take a sip of tea, okay? I hope you're, enjoying a nice cup of coffee or whatever, beverage you happen to be drinking at this moment. Or if you're not drinking a beverage at this moment. Anyways. Let's start with the fire signs. What does family mean to the fire signs? Well, family to a Sagittarius. What does family mean to a Sagittarius? Well, it's interesting because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So Jupiter is all about higher learning, morality, religion, value systems, our values, our core values, higher education. So these are the kinds of things where these are the types of things that may be formed initially, in the family. So, family for a Sagittarius can, a lot of times we have to remember that Sagittarius is also that sign that's very, adventurous, and kind of needs to kind of break away from the nest at some point to find themselves. So people who have prominent Sagittarius in their chart, for example, I have prominent Mars and Mercury in my Mars and Mercury in Sagittarius in my chart. So when I went away to college, that was definitely a time for me to kind of go find myself, my true self away from the nest. But then I always knew that, I could always go back to the nest. And that's kind of what family is to Sagittarius in a way. It's like, always a group of people, always a nest, always, a social construct of some sort, social dynamic of some sort that's comforting, that kind of reminds them of their true self, that, or at the very least reminds them of a past version of their selves, right? That kind of shows them how far they've come and kind of grounds them in a way. So family is always that kind of grounding force, that kind of safe haven that one can always go to, that Sagittarius kind of looks to. Once again, and family can mean anything, right? Okay, what does family mean to Leo? Leo is ruled by the sun, and the sun is all about the higher purpose, life purpose, the ego, the self, as well as, appearance and career, the things that we do to serve others, to be of service to others, right? That's kind of what Leo is about. So Leo, family to Leo is family to Leo is a source of loyalty, a source of devotion, a source of inspiration for Leos a lot of times. Family is, a lot of times a reflection of a Leo, so especially if, it's the Leo who has kind of raised or birthed the family, a lot of times, the descendants of the Leo, or those that look up to the Leo within the family will kind of encompass, certain qualities of that Leo, whether good or bad. Leos tend to be like the role models, the leaders, the those type of people within those types of, social familial dynamics, right? Leos are usually the life of the party, the ones that, people go to for inspiration, but also, the one that people go to for advice, and Leo is just, the one that, can a lot of times be the glue that keeps everyone together, right? Leo is the lion, the strong one, the fierce one. A lot of times, the one that defends, the ones that they love, So, a lot of times Leo is the protector of the family, but also wants that same devotion in return. So, a lot of times, family to Leo is, a Leo's protector, a Leo's kind of shield against the world, right? What does family mean to an Aries? Well, Aries is ruled by Mars, which is the planet of war, destruction, sexual desire, aggression, and things of that nature. So Aries is a very fiery, instinctive, intuitive sign. And Aries, much like Leo, is a sign that likes to protect the ones that they love. The sign that is very aggressive, very impulsive, very fiery. The sign that likes to keep it real. This is a very blunt sign, So family is a source of a grounding force for Leo, much like Sagittarius, but also a source where Aries can kind of once again be a leader, but also, in a weird way, Aries, wants to be a leader for their family and wants to be that kind of hero for their family and martyr, but at the same time wants to, needs to be a little bit babied and reassured, and needs that kind of same, needs to, while they're strong, there's a side of them that's very vulnerable and almost a little bit childlike, like a little bit, like it needs to be, while they're protective, they also need to be protected at the same time, like that kind of energy. And that's kind of what family is to them. Kind of like Leo, it's like their shield, but also at the same time, Aries is the shield for their family in a lot of ways. But, you know, Aries is kind of, you know, usually the martyr for the family, the one that keeps it real, the one that, you know, sees everyone for exactly who they are, you know, and tells it like it is, you know, and, you know, is a grounding force for other people, but also at the same time, the people, you know, that Aries considers family is a grounding force for Aries, you know, because Aries knows that, you know, the world is cruel, you know, and, you know, a lot of times the only ones that really love us to our core, no matter how crazy, you know, or you know, temperamental we may act, you know, they know us, they love us for who we are. It's unconditional love, and that's what Aries, you know, gets from family most of the time, hopefully, right? Okay, let's move to the air signs. What does family mean to the air signs? Let's start with Libra. What does family mean to Libra? Well, it's interesting because family for Libra can either be like a, you know, a sweet dream, like that Beyonce song, or a beautiful nightmare. You know, like Libra can either be, you know, the prince, the princess, the sweet one, you know, the perfect one, the perfect child, you know, the one with all the friends that has all the nice things, or they can just be the black sheep, the odd one out. Like, it really depends, you know, with the Libra. Family to Libra can be a source of inspiration, or a kind of a warning, you know, of what not to do, of what types of things not to do. Like, you know, you have to remember that Libra sees both sides of a situation. They always see both sides, you know, of you know, any person, right? So, you know, it really depends on the circumstances that a Libra kind of comes from. You know, if a Libra is surrounded by a family that a Libra can kind of blend in well with, you know, that the Libra has the same values with, that a Libra can kind of learn from, and you know, that Libra can receive the proper nurturing that they need, a Libra can be their true selves, then, you know, family to Libra is a sweet dream, right? But if a Libra is around family that doesn't understand them, if a Libra is around family that is horrible with money, because, you know, Libras are all about money, if a Libra is around family that is like chaotic, dysfunctional, and emotionally imbalanced, Libras, it's going to be a nightmare, right, for Libra. And I can attest to this because my moon is in Libra. So, you know, I'm going to stay mum on how I feel about this specifically with my situation. But, you know, that's kind of what Libra, you know, family is to Libra. That this does not necessarily mean that, you know, Libra does not love their family, because Libra does absolutely love their family. But a lot of times, sometimes Libra, you know, it's like, sometimes Libra needs to kind of form their own family, you know. Libras are like hopeless romantics, you know, because sometimes they don't get the proper love they need from their family, you know, whether growing up or, you know, in their current life, you know. It's kind of like Libra needs to first learn to love themselves, but then, you know, kind of venture out of the nest and go kind of find their tribe, right? But, you know, at the end of it all, Libra definitely loves family. Family is definitely important. You know, friendship, you know, bond building, love, peace, and harmony is what all those important things are important to Libra, right? What does family mean to Aquarius? Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which is all about progression, technology. It also rules astrology. Aquarius is also influenced and ruled by Saturn, which is all about time, the past, karma, debt, weight, and things of that nature. So, excuse me, Aquarius is, what does family mean to Aquarius? Well, you know, a lot of times, you know, Aquarius, kind of like Aries, sees themselves as a martyr, you know, because Aquarius is the humanitarian of the zodiac. So family to Aquarius is is one that Aquarius is devoted to, is one that Aquarius at the same time needs, I want to say, a separate life from, you know, like, it's like, and that can be kind of hard for Aquarius to find that balance, because it's like they want to be for the people, but that Saturn energy is also like, but I also want to be and do for me. So, you know, a lot of times Aquariuses can see themselves once again as that hero, that martyr for their family, but also it's like that they have that kind of need and urgency to kind of do something different and be, you know, go left field and do for themselves. So it's like sometimes they're, you know, they can be misunderstood by family. They can once again kind of like Libra feel like the black sheep. But it's like confusing as equally as for Aquarius, because they're like, but I'm doing for you guys, I'm doing this all for you, why don't you understand? So it's like, you know, families, you know, sometimes a complex thing for Aquarius, which is you know, interesting, because it's similar for Capricorn, which we'll get into here in a second. But you know, that's kind of, you know, nonetheless, Aquarius is very devoted to family, very devoted to the people they love. They are the water bearers, you know, so they are the people that provide the water, that, you know, bring the sustenance, that bring life to the people in need. So that's kind of what, you know, Aquarius does for family. They're the humanitarians. They're the ones that family can always count on through thick and thin, even if they just need to talk, right? Because Aquariuses are an air sign, right? What does family mean to Gemini? Well, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury rules communication, the mind, intellect, as well as travels and things of that nature, and a little bit of technology as well, right? Family to Gemini is interesting because Gemini always has two sides to them. So a lot of times, like a Leo, like sometimes a Libra, maybe even sometimes for an Aquarius, family can definitely be a source of inspiration for Gemini, depending on their situation, right? Because, you know, kind of like Libra, Gemini can be a little bit of a hopeless romantic, where they may not find themselves in the best situation sometimes, right? Because we have two twins, you know. So, you know, sometimes I do find that Geminis, you know, stay stuck in situations that have long been, you know, have long had an expiration date, right? So family to Gemini can definitely be a source of devotion, a source of, you know, a safe haven, but it's also a space where Gemini can bounce ideas, you know, and kind of get feedback and kind of shape themselves and mold themselves and help mold other people, you know, within the family. And it's also a source of once again, a safe haven, because a lot of times Geminis can be misunderstood. And no matter how misunderstood they, you know, are or can be, you know, by their family as well, they know at the end of the day their family loves them. You know, they are the people that, you know, the Gemini has to sleep with, you know, or not sleep with, you know, but like sleep in the same quarters, in the same living space with, you know, on a daily basis. So these are the same people, you know, that Gemini wakes up to, you know, to see their morning faces with their crust in, you know, their eyes. You know, they get to see, you know, the Gemini with the crust in, you know, his or her eyes, and, you know, you know, with the not so great breath. And, you know, like, this is the real Gemini. This is Gemini without the mask, without, you know, the aesthetic, without the dramatics, the act, right? Gemini doesn't really like being that vulnerable, believe it or not. All right. So, you know, family to Gemini can definitely be a source of vulnerability, a source of strength. Once again, a source of inspiration. You know, a source of, you know, a place to lay your head, you know, when you've had a rough day, you know, dealing with the world and being misunderstood and being maybe been slandered by the world, you know, like, that's kind of what family is to Gemini. All right. Now, let's move on to what family means to the water signs. What does family mean to the water signs? Well, first of all, let's start with Cancer. What does family mean to Cancer? Well, Cancer is ruled by the moon, which ironically is all about family. The moon rules family. The moon rules nurturing, the mother energy, the home, children. So, you know, this is a Cancer's, you know, safe haven. This is a Cancer's, you know, favorite place to be. These are the people who, you know, Cancer, you know, these are the favorite people that Cancer enjoys to be with, right? Like, these are the only people that Cancers really trust. Like, these are the only people that get to see all the sides of Cancer, good and bad. Like, these are the, you know, people that Cancers trust with their secrets. Like, these are the people who have seen Cancer, like, grow up and, like, you know, go through their good sides and bad sides and go through their awkward stages of growth, you know, whether it was in their teens, in their 20s, in their 30s, 40s, or 50s. Like, you know, we all have crap that we go through, but at the end of the day, who gets us through it? Family. And Cancer knows that more than any other zodiac sign, because they're ruled by the moon, and that's what the moon is all about, family, you know. So these are people who are family oriented people all around. Like, family is their, most of the time, end all be all, you know. What if it's, you know, they made their own family, or just the family that they were born into or brought into, you know, that's their heart, right? So that's what family means to Cancer. It's literally their heart. All right. What does family mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and Neptune rules spirituality as well as confusion, illusion, mysticism. Pisces is also ruled by Jupiter, and we said what Jupiter is all about. Jupiter is all about higher learning, higher education, morality, religion, things of that nature. Our value systems, which are usually all of these things are usually formed, you know, within our family, within our youth, and those types of things. So once again, this is, you know, Pisces is a person that is generally connected, deeply connected to their family for the good and the bad. You know, sometimes family can be negative, you know, and sometimes, you know, despite that, we can still have a soul bind, a soul, you know, contract, a soul connection, you know, whether toxic or not, with our family, right? And Pisces is one of those signs that I think the most important thing for Pisces actually is to learn to form an identity outside of their family, outside of their loved ones, outside of those that they spend the most time with, you know. You know, but you know, a lot of times family to Pisces can be a source of inspiration, definitely, a source of emotional security. But the thing with Pisces is that at the same time, family cannot be these things, right? So, you know, once again, Pisces, kind of like a few other signs, needs to kind of go find their tribe outside of family, go find their own family, right? Away from maybe the family that they were born or brought into. But if that's not the case, then, you know, family is definitely a source of inspiration, emotional security, sometimes emotional, sometimes Pisces is a sign that can be misunderstood once again. So, you know, but family is also a force that grounds Pisces at the same time, I think. So, you know, I think Pisces, you know, needs to find that fine balance between being and doing for self and being and doing for family and those that they connect themselves to, right? Whether it be emotionally or spiritually. Because we become who we kind of hang out with and spend most of our time with, right? Whether for the good or bad. So, that was kind of deep, Pisces, right? You guys are deep people. You can take it. Alright, what does family mean to Scorpio? Well, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto and Mars Mars is all about war, aggression, destruction, and things of that nature. And Pluto is all about spirituality, spirituality on a very deep level, as well as transformation, transitions, and things of that nature. So, you know, Scorpio for family is a group of people who know Scorpio best, who Scorpio knows best. Is also, you know, can also sometimes be a group that, or a thing that holds Scorpio back. It can be a kind of safe haven, a source of comfort for Scorpio, both for the good and the bad. But nonetheless, family can also definitely be a place of comfort once again for Scorpio, a place of where Scorpio can hopefully share one's secrets and not be sure that they're not they don't get out, that they're not told. Family can be a safe haven for Scorpio. Family can be a source of, once again, comfort and joy and laughter, which is something that I think Scorpios sometimes need. A place where Scorpio can put his or her trust in people, a place where Scorpio can feel understood and feel not taken for granted and feel appreciated, and a space where Scorpio can kind of exhibit those same qualities for other family members, other people within the family, within the social construct that they love. So this is a place where Scorpio is all around. The word just that comes to me is unconditional love for Scorpio. Just absolute unconditional love is what Scorpio or is what family means to Scorpio. And if that's not what they're getting, then it's not family to Scorpio, right? And I say that with a laugh, but I didn't mean to laugh. Alright, last but not least, what does family mean to the earth signs? Well, let's start with Virgo. What does family mean to Virgo? Well, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and we kind of talked about what Mercury is all about with Gemini. But Mercury rules the mind, communication, intellect, and things of that nature. So family to Virgo is kind of a source of inspiration, a source where Virgo can bounce off ideas, a source where Virgo can kind of morph him or herself to be a better person, a source where Virgo can ground themselves and hopefully and help their loved ones to be better people as well. We have to remember that Virgos tend to be the very kind of conscious or health conscious people. So these are the people in our families that are always saying you need to drink more water, you need to eat healthier, you need to stop using those sunscreens with all that negative oxides in it or whatever. These are the type of people that just want people to live their best, healthiest life. These are the type of people that keep other people grounded and is a source of therapy and advice and inspiration for other people within the family. So we have to remember that, Virgos are the kind of therapists, the servants of the zodiac. Not to say that that's all they're, Virgos are good for. My rising sign is Virgo, and I'm definitely not just a servant, but I definitely love to help people, but definitely, I think most of all I love to help, and I think Virgos love to help the ones that they truly, truly love and hold dear to their hearts, like the ones that keep Virgo up, because Virgo is responsible, Virgos can be responsible for keeping a lot of other people up, but who's there to keep Virgo up? Family. So that's what family is to a Virgo, right? Excuse me, let me take a sip of tea. What does family mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus is ruled by the planet Venus, and Venus is all about, peace, harmony, romance, friendship, bond building, money, things of that nature, right? So similar to Libra, family for Taurus can be a source of inspiration, it can be a sweet dream, or it can be a beautiful nightmare, right? Family for Taurus is, one of the first kind of it's one of the first kind of social constructs where kind of Taurus learns about love and what it means, to be loved and to love other people, and, what unconditional love truly means and what it doesn't mean, right? So, once again, family can be a good thing or a bad thing for a Taurus, but that's, kind of for a lot of zodiac signs, right? But Taurus is also one of those zodiac signs that can have many different families. This is a sign that can kind of, sometimes, may have a need to kind of go out and find their own tribe, find their own family. But, family to Taurus is definitely a source of grounding, a source of inspiration, a source of healing a lot of times for Taurus. So those are the types of things that family means to Taurus. And last but not least, we have Capricorn. What does family mean to Capricorn? Well, family to Capricorn can definitely mean a place, loyalty, devotion is very important to a Capricorn. But at the same time, family can, be something that holds Capricorn back if a Capricorn lets them, if a Capricorn lets the family hold them back. And that can, resonate differently with many different Capricorns. But Capricorn is a zodiac sign that's very devoted to family. Capricorn is the sign that's going to bring home the bacon to the family, provide for the family. And Capricorn is kind of, family is, Capricorn's a kind of disciplinarian, right? So family to Capricorn is a space where Capricorn can be a leader, right? Capricorn can be kind of like a role model, whether consciously or unconsciously, right? But at the same time, Capricorn with that kind of responsibility can have a tendency like that responsibility of having to be a role model, having to be the martyr, having to be kind of the one that does it all, for the family, can also hold the Capricorn back, right? Because, Capricorn can be the one that kind of like babies the family, and kind of, it's almost like what would, the family do without Capricorn. But, Capricorn's one of those signs that definitely kind of needs to kind of form their own identity outside of family, right? But nonetheless, family is definitely a source of inspiration, a safe haven. The ones that Capricorn would much rather come home to at night rather than, anyone else. The people that Capricorn is most safest, most, trustworthy with. But also the people that Capricorn is the most kind of rough and stern and blunt with at the same time, right? So family is where, you know, Capricorn builds a lot of their character as well, you know, for the good and bad. So this is what family means to the 12 zodiac signs. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some clarity and insight. And I hope you share it with your friends and family, and I hope you spread the word. I hope it resonated with you. And I thank you so much for listening and watching this video. Please contact me at lamartownsendtarot.com for your own personal, private, confidential psychic tarot reading, or your own birth chart reading, okay? You can purchase your reading directly from my website. My tarot readings are only $1 per minute, and if you have any questions, please check out the FAQ section and the personal ethics section, okay? I can't wait to hear from you, okay? Until then, I wish you guys nothing but the best, love, health, and lots of success, all right? Thank you guys, and peace out.